All righty, everybody. What is going on? Hello, one and all.
Yeah,
What are you guys doing up here?
we've got a spy camera. We installed a spy camera, Nerdy.
What are you guys in my house for?
Oh, good to see you again, Nerd Workshop. How you been, buddy? It's been a while since we talked. I know
Good.
bad news coming from you, but how's everything else been for you?
Everything else good. Keep trucking along.
All right, that's good. That's
All
good.
you
So, those of you who don't know, Tony is not coming today. He had his surgery on Thursday. I texted him this morning to see how he was doing, if he was going to make the show or not. He said he just didn't feel up to it, didn't have the energy. So,
Tell you what, it hasn't worked. He's still as ugly as ever.
I know, right? So,
Just
yeah,
joking,
unfortunately, Tony couldn't make it. So, we wish him still a healthy recovery, and hopefully a couple more days he'll get back on his feet and stop being a lazy ass. But let's hope. Let's hope, anyways. So, anyways, we get Nerd to come by. So, thanks so much for coming out today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to talk about, a lot to share, a lot to get into. So, what have you been doing, Ruff? What in the heck have you been doing?
Well, after, I don't know, bore people with it, but I had a bit of news that gave me the all clear. So I've been a bit sort of fuzzy-headed for a few weeks, but now that's all okay. I'm back on it. Unfortunately, did I show these last week? I'm sure I did. I got into the two games from Princess Games. Their Drive to Medina, I think, was their first one. But they've sent me both in Freezing Inferno, which I did unboxing for, which is on the channel. And this one, I'm just going to get the lid because they weigh a ton. This one here. Kulkin Gol, the nasty Soviets against the nasty Japanese. Hello, what's going on there? Just before the sort of start of what we know as the Second World War. Very similar in concept. If you watch the video on Freezing Inferno, very similar in concept. Looks like it's a sort of series. There's some extra bits in this game. It's a prototype. It's not the production model. It's going on Kickstarter next month from middle of October, I think. Extra cards in it to the other one. So yeah, but I've got to get those out the way. Still fiddling about with combat. I can't wait to get that on the channel, but it's just like every time I get onto it, things turn up. So that's what I've been up to this week. What about you, Jester?
Well, we got up to game number 85, new game on the channel this week, as we played a couple new ones. We actually played 2 new games in one day. I'm trying to remember what the heck we did play. We played Final Girl, really cool game. If you don't own Final Girl, we played 51st State. We played Star Trek, the deck building game, the original series, and we played Cards of Cthulhu this week, and Bullet Star. We squeezed that in as well. All really good games. I was really happy with the outcome. Sometimes you get some plays the new games and you go, oh, this is terrible. Like we did last month. Last month was horrible, the games we played. This month, much better games. I don't know. It's just luck of the draw, I guess. So 85, we're trying to get to 100 new games this year. We got 3 months left. We got 14 more to do on the channel. So that's about 4, 5, 6, about five a month, which I think we've been averaging about 7 to 8. So we should be able to get 100 in for you guys this year. So that'll be interesting and fun. And let's say hi to everyone. Yeah. Alistair, how you doing? Jeffrey, Phoenix Knights, what is going on? Braun, Dave, Gaming Cave, what's going on, my friend? Edward, Fred. We're going to talk about Herman's stuff here in a minute, if you're here for that. William, Historic Wings, what is going on? Koi, Poltergeist, Board Games. Wow, great name.
Now, he's a new channel. I've subscribed. I'm just trying to look at, that's what I'm doing. If I'm looking, I'm trying to find his channel on YouTube, but I can't. Is it Steve, I think, or Poltergeist? Could you put up in the link, type in the link for your copy and paste it and put it in the in the old chat there. Everybody go along. It's a brand new channel. 1 or 2 videos. Go and support. Go and say hi and subscribe. There's good chaps and chapesses.
Dangerous Dave, what's going on? Lower, slower, board gamer, what is going on? Garth, Groucho, Meandering Mike, good to see you.
Mike.
So, speaking of YouTube channels, I had a request from one of our good friends of the channel to talk about and introduce to you guys a channel. So, I'm going to do that right now. Since we're talking about it, that's not what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. So, if you haven't subscribed to Clark Commando 1983. He does a lot of war games. He's been a big war gamer guy. Unfortunately, he's going through some medical issues and he's kind of been down in the dumps a little bit. So if you guys would subscribe to his channel, post some comments on his videos, kind of give him a little pick me up and let him know what a good job he's doing. That would be awesome, and show him some love and support. And I think that would be awesome. So thank you guys if you could do that for us. We love to support all the people that support us. So, not everyone is as fortunate as us. So we try to help out the little guys as well as the big guys. So thank you all for doing that if you could. And I will post a link.
Hey, he had 666 subscribers.
Oh dear, we've got to get him one more at least.
I just
better get
popped
him
it
quick.
up. I just
Somebody
popped
get
one
him
up.
in there quick. So yeah, as you can see, he does a lot of war gaming stuff, and unfortunately, like I said, he's going through some medical issues, and we need to keep his spirits up. We need to give him some good vibes and let him know that there's good in the world out there. So you guys, I know you'll do me good. So thank you very much for that. Now,
I've just posted up as well. Posted up Poltergeist's badly.
Right.
Posted it up badly, but I posted up. Found him. Post up his link. So go and see him. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Clark Commando, because as you say, it's not great news. So he needs all the love and support he can get.
Absolutely. There he is right there. Let's click on him there. Brand new. He's only got 32 subscribers. Come on, people. Let's give him some love. He's only got 2 videos. He's just starting off. Let's
He's doing sports games as well. He thinks he's going to do a couple of sports games.
Is he?
Yeah.
I think I posted on his video. Yes, I already posted on his video. So I don't just ask you guys to do this just because I want to hear myself talk. I walk the walk. So when I subscribe, I make sure I post. I make sure I like videos. Do the same, guys. Just go subscribe, post a comment, post a video. You don't know, if you're not a YouTuber, you don't know how important these things are to us. Just getting messages every day from you guys, whether good or bad or whatever, it's a big bonus, and it makes you feel like you're part of the community. So
Yeah.
we want this gentleman to feel like he's part of our community.
Yeah, he's in the chat. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. I haven't seen the second video yet. I commented on the first one when he first started up.
Oh, there's Tony. Hey, Tony. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. He's beat up, but felt like he's been stabbed 3 times. So, yeah. All right. Well, we're still hoping for good recovery, my friend. Good recovery. And take care of yourself, Tony. Do not. It's always, I'm telling you, it's always the second and third day after surgery. It's the worst, man. That first day doesn't matter, but they got you on so many different medicines and stuff. So anyways, we wanted to cover that with everyone out here because I think it's important to support everyone out there. Not this,
and as I say, we like it because we love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So I don't know if you want to get into it, nerd, but what have you been up to lately? And as much or as little information is fine. It's up to you.
Well, not a lot. Life sort of throws you some curves every once in a while. But my mother was in hospice for about 4 or 5 months. So I've been taking care of her and going through all of that. So that sort of took me away from everything. I actually was in the middle of Solano 43 doing a playthrough, and I got it all finished. I just got to edit it all and do all that, but I haven't really added to my channel for quite some time, I think. So it's just been, that's occupied a lot of my time. And it started back teaching in school, and I had the college decided that they wanted me to be full-time this semester instead of part-time, which I did not want to be. So I got a couple extra classes that I wasn't expecting. But as Tony would tell you, teaching college is easy, and that's
it's like one day a week or something.
Yeah. It's just one day a week, so it's just a piece of cake. But yeah, so that's been occupying all my time. So I've been still doing play testing with the last 100 yards. We're actually doing we finished up the Russian campaign, which is coming out soon, and we also are working.
And you're looking at all the different variations of the Russian campaign, weren't you?
Yeah. I played all the scenarios at least 2 times, and then we're working on a British campaign now, which actually the last 2 have been Canadian against Germans, which part of the Commonwealth, and
they're not greatly represented,
no
games along with the Aussies, and the other Commonwealth countries, Indians, and all that. They're not very well represented, so it's good.
This one's good, and they introduced a new thing in there, which is a new a mechanic, which is kind of fun. So it's interesting. The nice thing about it is they take, we play the games and say, oh, here's what's wrong, or here's what you think. And they're actually paying attention to that. And then I've been doing Fighting Formation, the 29th. That one, but that one got put on pause, but we're still playing. I play with a guy each week, a couple times each week. And so we're still continuing on all the playthroughs.
Why has it been on pause? Sorry, Nerdy. Why has it been put? Because I'm looking forward.
I don't know. I think they went off on another to finish up the other game that I can't think of his name, what she started, and I think they went to finish that. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Kai.
Kai, her husband. I think he had another game, and so
wasn't it Downfall? Something Downfall?
I think it might have been Downfall. They might have
I think they were trying to finish that up.
Yeah, maybe
get that into production, get it out.
That's being delivered now. If we're going to look at
I think it's coming out next
week or so.
So I don't know exactly why, and I think they're changing some rules. I think they're doing some rule changes. So they had certain ones that they want us to play, which the one me and my partner are playing. It's been, I think we played 2 hours each time, and I think we met like 10 times. We're only halfway through it, so it's a rather long scenario. But anybody who's tell you that you're the play testers don't do enough play testing. I'm here to tell you, we do a lot of play tests.
I just think there aren't enough of them. Maybe.
Yeah. And Mike, I'm still scheduled to do. I have my mom passed away just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and so I'm taking care of all of the after stuff now. So I hope to be there at GMT West. I still plan on going, Mike. So hopefully I'll see you there. But that's my plan.
Okay. So
that's why I've been away from everything.
About your mother, and we appreciate you coming on short notice and under the circumstances and everything.
Well, that's all right. Yeah, it's just you asked, and I thought, well, that'd be fun. I haven't been with you guys.
Get your mind off of things, right, and just let it,
Yeah.
2 hours of much. Is what you get.
My mind needed 2 hours of much for a while, and that was good. That worked out. Because I don't even think I haven't even been participating or anything, so it's kind of been cut out of it for a while.
Right. You need to get back on the horse and swing it, right?
Yeah.
So next thing I want to talk about is I heard, as we know, we are big. We did a little game on the channel with Herman a couple weeks ago. A little game he's got coming out.
Has he designed a game again? What's he been doing?
Yeah. Plum Island Horror. Well, as you guys know, it's almost ready to ship out. So what they do is they produce a couple copies and they send them to GMT to look at them and make sure everything's right and everything looks good. And so we've got some pictures of the pre-released copy that Herman and the folks at GMT are going to share with us. And then Herman's supposed to get his copy next week. And we're scheduled for a live unboxing here on the channel next Thursday. So if you want to see what comes in the Plum Island Horror box, from scratch, come out Thursday night at 7:00 here on the channel. We'll have Herman on. We'll get to talk to him about the game, the production, and see him opening his box. But we did get some copies, some photos from someone else that got their copy earlier than the designer. I don't know why, but
how very dare they?
Right. So here are actual photos of the actual production, and assuming everything turns out okay and they okay everything, this is what it will look like for you guys out there. So now I just need to share this with you guys. There we go. So you got one of the factions there, or actually this is one of the enemies there. These are all the enemy factions there. And the player boards and the cubes and part of the map, obviously. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. There you go. There's one of the factions, purple faction. Who was the purple faction? That was
they like the cleaners, aren't they, or something? Or
Ralph Norton, and it was. I think it was Tony played that faction.
The honeymooners.
So that one looks good too. We have the orange faction with John Deere.
Hey, I don't think we played that one, did we?
No, I don't think so. Nope. And here it is with some of the pieces on the board with the Plum Island Horror. Nice thick mounted map.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a bigger shot of the whole map there and some of the cards.
Somebody asked me a question because I uploaded the game we played on my channel as well, and say, well, are the locations random as well? And I said no. But there's enough randomization in this game to keep you happy, So
yeah, absolutely. There's the rule book and some more of the cards and the bag that you draw everything out of looks nice. And the big thick chits up there. I think they're 1-inch 1-inch chits.
It's nice, and the custom dice as well.
Custom dice.
Yeah.
Yep, and there we are. So then we're back to square one. So. Oh, and there's the actual box.
Looks good.
Yeah. I'm looking for it. Oh, and I thought that was it, but we got a whole map.
Hopefully it'll be out on the next charging month, next month maybe, because it's at the printer. Is it at the printers or being shipped?
That's the last one. So there you go. I'm going to go through them one more time really quickly in case you missed any of them, just so you can pause this afterwards if you're watching on YouTube. If there's anything you want to specifically see. But more importantly, 7:00 Thursday, right here on the channel, we're going to have Herman Lutman. He'll be unboxing his copy live in person for us. So we'll get to see every piece and part from the game. And looking forward to it.
Fred's saying, don't give Herman any ideas.
I'm sure if they printed the wrong size player aids, I'm sure. Like the last game he made. Condolences, of course. If there's a drought, is it Prune Island? Yes.
He's a bit of a wagger, Alistair, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But he's a good guy. He's a
good guy, yeah.
He's the one that wanted me to talk about Clark Commando. And what he was going through.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned him.
Yeah, and mentioned him. So that's always a good thing. So, anyways, 7:00 Thursday. Unless, of course, he doesn't for some reason get his copy. It's supposed to be here on Tuesday. We didn't want to schedule for Tuesday or Wednesday just in case it got delayed. So we're going to do it Thursday at 7. If he doesn't get his copy, then we'll reschedule it. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming in my box. Did you get this one, nerd?
I did not.
Okay. All right.
But I will be up there in 2 weeks, so guess where I'm going to get it? At a discount.
Right.
All right.
You just take one off the shelf. Are they going to know? No, they're not going to know.
Well, they will. Actually,
No,
That's a
they
good
wouldn't.
They got 40 people running around in the warehouse. So what are they going to
That's
do?
true.
You just-
I mean, if you were dishonest, you probably could get away with that there. I mean,
Yeah,
they're very trusting, and I think it's just not the crowd that's going to do that.
no, big baggy sweatshirt, you'll be fine.
Oh no, we come in there with the big old Costco bags, and we fill them up, and
right.
then we go fill out our form and hand them the credit card, and hope we can pay for it.
Well, as you know, in the last P500 that showed up from GMT, I got woo.
Yeah, you got
Where
a
are they?
ton.
Oh yeah,
I got them all, man. I got them all.
he's Pokemon man, isn't he? Got to get them all. Got to catch them all.
Got them all. I got
Collecting
them all. Command and Color Napoleonics, and with all the expansions. And I'm not going to get them all down. I'll just make a mess. Have you played Command and Color Napoleonics?
I haven't played.
No, I don't.
Really?
I played Ancients and I played Samurai.
Yeah, I haven't played I was going to get Napoleonics a couple years ago. I saw them on Noble Knight and I was like, oh, I should get this. And then I was like, no, I should get like the whole package deal, right? But they didn't have everything. So I was like, well, I'll just wait until they get like, everything. And they never did. So then I never got it. And I was like, all right, well, if they're going to reprint them, I'll just get the reprint. So
yeah,
I think it's a great. I mean, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's a great
fun
system.
game.
I will say though, the reason it hasn't come to the channel, besides the fact that I'm doing lots of other things, is it is a little bit more complex than some of the other, because you can change into square, right? So you got the square. You actually have a lot of your units, unlike Ancients and Samurai, where your units have a set number of dice. In Napoleonics, it's based upon how many cubes are left in your thing. So if you have 5 cubes, you roll 5 dice. If you have 3 cubes, you roll 3 dice. So I think it's a good. I think it's a. I will say this: it's just not a copying of like Ancients and just copied over.
Yeah.
There is quite a few. You have artillery that can actually support your units. So if I have a artillery unit, cannons basically, and I got another unit that I'm attacking with, I can have this support my attack. So that's not in any of the other games I know of. So I think it's good because it's just not the same old thing. There's some other rules that you have to learn, you have to deal with.
I do have the American Revolution from Compass.
But the Tricorn one.
Tricorn, yeah. I have that one. Haven't played that yet though. My son has been the one that I've been playing Samurai and the Ancients with. So
yeah, I like the Ancient one.
That's the one I've chosen to get. I mean, because otherwise, we had this discussion before you went on holiday, didn't we? Why I didn't want to get. I haven't got the room or the money, and B, I don't want to. I'm just going to focus on Ancients. So I've ordered
that's what I've done.
The expansions that are around on the P500. I've ordered P500 them, and just concentrate on that because it is a good system. It's good fun. Light is the wrong word. I wish people say it's light. It's not. It's just not rules heavy, So it's it's a good game to get out, and especially with the CDS CDG solo system. Yeah. It's even more fun. So
it is a good system. It's fun to play. I enjoy playing them.
Well, the other thing is I don't own any. Well, that's not true. I own one Napoleonics game, which is Field Commander Napoleon, but that's not really a Napoleon game. So I thought, if I want to do some Napoleonics, this would be kind of good to get into because I don't own it. I mean, how many Napoleonic games do you guys own?
I've got the tri-pack of Napoleon's Last Stand, which has got like Liege and I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think I have a single one. But after the Napoleon movie, I'm sure I will start buying them.
And I've got the Stratagemata one, which I forgot. I've got to do a bloody unboxing. I've had it months. I forgot. So sorry, Adam, if you're listening. I'll get round to it. There's one set in Spain. So it's a Spanish conflict. So I've got 2 boxes.
Okay.
Now the Napoleon.
You don't have any?
I don't have any Napoleon. No, I don't have any Napoleon games at all. But
Which I find extremely weird because there are so many Napoleonic games.
yeah, it's just not. It's not an area that I was.
It doesn't
So
itch.
much
It
interest.
doesn't scratch that itch, does
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like
it's just-
World War II, or for me
Yeah.
anyway.
It's sort of in that middle area that I just sort of ancients, World War I, II. And
Yeah,
I sort of miss it. But the Napoleons, now that's the one where you can put them together to form really large battles with that.
you could
thing,
do that with
like
ancients.
boards
You can get-
together.
you can
Yeah,
get
it's
boards
called
and ancient.
Epic. If you buy the
Epic,
Epic
yeah.
expansion, it gives you another board.
Yeah,
And you have several boards you play with, and then you have basically you have a left, a center, and a right flank, which are 3 different boards. And then of those boards, you have a left, center, right flank on each one of those boards as well.
yeah.
And then you have one person that's supposed to be the commander, and he passes the rules down to each player who does their own board.
So that looks like that would be fun.
That would be-
Yeah. If you
that'd be a
have
good
a nice group of people, I think
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Because you get the orders from your commander, you can be like, how do I
If you-
interpret this order?
if you say so.
Maneuver is a good one that has light rules.
And that doesn't mean it's when you say, I don't want to give it the wrong impression or whatever. It's not hard to get into, shall we say?
I do own this. That is true. Interesting.
sort of-
It doesn't say Napoleon, though.
But it's Napoleon-esque, is
It
it?
says early 19th century warfare.
That's Napoleon, isn't it?
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. But you think it would say like Napoleonic era or
Well,
something?
I suppose.
Yeah, this is.
yeah.
If you guys don't own this and you can get a copy of this, this is really good game. It is very light game, but there is a lot of strategy to it. You basically are playing on like a 3x3 grid, and you put 4 of them together, and then each unit has a certain number of cards in your deck, and you can only activate that unit when you play the card. And so you can't just move your units anytime willy-nilly. You have to manage. It's more of like a resource management of your units by using the cards, because you only go through your deck once and that's it. The game's over.
Ah,
And it's whoever has the most territory at the end of when somebody's deck runs out. It's
That's
really interesting game.
It's also because I don't know a tremendous amount about the Napoleonic conflicts. Everybody keeps going on about them, Dave. They look gorgeous as well. Not too expensive. And I think Second Chance do them over here, so we can get hold of them. But they look gorgeous. Matt
No
White.
Napoleonic for Garth either. Wow. Phoenix Nice doesn't own any. What's wrong with you people?
we don't have little man
Easy to
syndrome.
play, hard to master. Yeah, that's maneuver. It's out of print, so it's hard to get. And I don't think they're going to do another print run of those for a long time. It's probably been P500, but there's not very many people that have ordered it.
Yeah.
But it's a really good one.
That's a war I'm more interested in as well.
Yeah, I have all the American Revolution ones, from the.
I don't know. I own the new coin one.
Is that the
Liberty or Death.
Battles of the American Revolution series?
Yeah.
That's another
No,
good.
I own one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I have all of those.
He would
And then
guess
I even-
rating has over 100. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike does like his Napoleonics.
I guess. So we're going to be talking today kind of about Colmar, France, and the battle for Colmar, because that's where I was a couple weeks ago. And I know a lot of people like poo-pooed, oh, we don't want to sit here and watch your photos and stuff. But I've actually got I actually have, I think, a pretty good setup where I can actually show you guys. I know looking at other people's photographs are kind of blasé, right? It's not very exciting. It's what somebody else did. I don't care about your photographs, right? I understand that. So I try to make it as interesting and give you as much context for the photos, because I think if you have context for the photos,
Well,
they mean a little bit more.
but I'm a photography teacher, so does that mean I get to critique
Yeah,
them while you're going
critique.
through?
You
Yeah,
can critique all
Right.
you want. Yes, you can critique all you want. So, when I talk about the battle and I show you, like, oh, hey, this is where I was standing, and you can see where I'm standing, you can understand the
But
importance.
if you
of
feel
it.
the focus is out, then that's just crazy.
I'll bring it up. Or the
Yeah.
lighting's the wrong way or anything. Yeah.
Wow, I see how you're going to be. I see. All right.
Well, that's why I thought you brought me on. I don't know. I couldn't figure out another reason why you talked to me, but figured that had to be it.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I brought you
before I
on.
forget,
So-
everybody, us three, and everybody in the chat, lock and load. Cheers.
Yeah, and I don't have any drink. What's up with that? I know. I drunk my drunk before I got on. So, anyways, we're going to be talking about the Battle of Colmar and some of the important battles. We're going to show you some of the important sites and a lot of history, and a lot of photographs. So I will just peek your whistle just for a second to show you like one photograph from one of the museums that I was in, and so you can see. Let's see, what do I got to do here? This one, right? Here we go. So that is one of the pictures that I took from one of the museums that they had all the different guns. These are actual things that were in this battle, recovered from this area. So I thought, you don't see this stuff over in the U.S. very often. I'm sure, Ruff, you probably see it all the time, right?
Well, say the Imperial War Museum, when I did my video on that, there's so much stuff there. Brilliant. But yeah, it's a lot of personal stuff in the museums as well, because of the war was brought to us. You didn't see a lot of it as civilians, whereas we did. Not that I remember that before you say anything.
So I mean, it's interesting for me because I think it's not a battle interesting enough. It happens at the exact same time as the Battle of the Bulge, December 1944. And so it doesn't get talked about a lot, and it doesn't get a lot of publicity because of that other. You might have heard of the Bulge battle, the Battle of the Bulge. There's been one or two games on it, so you might have heard of it.
So what was it all about then, Jester? Because I'm not overly familiar with it either. So
all right, we'll get into it later. I just want to kind of wet your whistle and give you kind of a
don't be filthy
overview of this context. So, if you guys have heard of Audie Murphy,
even I've heard of Audie Murphy.
Okay, you've heard of Audie Murphy.
Well,
I didn't even realize this. If somebody would ask me the trivia question, where did Audie Murphy earn his Medal of Valor from? It's from this battle right here. And I'm going to actually show you the memorial to him, and I'm going to actually show you the photographs of where he actually made his last stand there. So, why so many Bulge games? Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, but there's not. I don't even know there's that many board games on the Battle of Colmar and what happened there, and it's.
I don't know unless it's incorporated. If there was another battle going, I know the Bulge was going on, but this is a different part of France, isn't it? So
right, and if you actually go to YouTube, I've actually got quite a few videos that I think are super good, and I would highly recommend if you're going to try. You want to find out some more information, check out this video from World War II Wayfinder. He actually stands in the exact same spot that I take my pictures from. So you get a little bit of context if you watch this video, because there's there's the U.S. Memorial, which we'll show you when I show my pictures. He's standing right over. He does the later on in the show. He is standing like right over here, and that's the exact same picture, the exact same spot that I was taking my pictures from. So you have some context of when he's talking, you can understand where my pictures are from. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to link some videos for you guys if you're interested finding out more about this battle. Audie Murphy leaped off of an exploding tank. No. True, but no. That's not exactly what happened. What ended up happening is his group of 13 guys had 2 tank supports, and the Germans actually hit both of them with their first 2 shots and knocked them both out. And so the Germans then proceeded to come out of the village towards their position. And Audie Murphy and the guys were like, what are we going to do? And so Audie Murphy jumps up on top of a tank and uses the machine gun on top of the tank to repulse and call in some mortar support from the battalion that was back at headquarters to help repulse the German attack. He ends up leaping off the attack after 45 minutes. He shot 3 times and then with his few remaining guys heads back to the headquarters. Then it's said, and I don't know how accurate any of this is, but 10 minutes after he jumps off the tank explodes because of all the ammunition in it. So interesting. He writes a book, which is very detailed, actual really interesting book called To Hell and Back. I would highly recommend you guys download or buy it or look it up and read it, because after the war in 1949, he goes back and he retraces his steps step by step that he did in the war and writes down all of his notes and remembers everything and people's names and places and faces and events and talks in detail, because he goes back and he sees everything again. He's not just going from memory. So To Hell and Back is the name of his book. So I think it's a very detailed account of what had happened, if you're interested.
That would be interesting, I think.
And I didn't know anything about this. We just happened to be traveling down the Rhine, and one of the excursions was for the Battle of Colmar, World War II. And the wife's like, do you want to go on that? I'm like, sure, I guess. Why not? So great movie, To Hell and Back, which I think was actually based upon his account from the book. So, but I'm not 100%. Most people remember Audie Murphy not as a World War II guy, but as an actor, because when he gets back to the U.S., he sells bonds because he's famous and everything, and then he gets into acting and does the big acting stuff, and he's in 36 different movies, I think they said, something crazy.
Lots of cowboy movies as well.
A lot of cowboy movies, right? He does he's his favorite. He does the cowboy movies. He does a few war movies, but the actual movie based upon his life, To Hell and Back, I don't think he stars in that one. Interesting enough. Yeah. And yeah. And so, spoiler alert, he ends up 1970. He's in a private plane and he's going through Virginia. They fly to go see some property. They turn around after they see the property. They're flying back. They get into a fog bank, and the plane ends up crashing into the side of the mountain, and he ends up dying from that. So that's how he ends up.
Ironic.
After everything he did, it's like the weirdest situation was the end. And it's very...
It's crazy. And I think, because that's what I was trying to look up on the thing. Harold said, I think he played himself in the film, Hell and Back.
Oh, did he play himself? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me know if I'm wrong, but...
No, I mean, maybe you are right. I am certainly not the Audie Murphy expert at all. I our guide was very knowledgeable. We asked the questions. We got to talk to him. I was actually standing in the spot that the tank blew up. So
yeah, they're saying
yes,
there's a few people
okay.
he did. So that's great. So I've got to watch that. I've seen it, but I've got to try now. I've got to watch it again now.
Yeah. And there's some very famous things that he talks about. One of the most important things that he talks about is the steeple in the town. And he kept referencing this in the book and in the movie, the steeple. And I actually have a picture of that steeple in one of my photographs. So again, it's all based on context. If you don't know anything, you're just taking like random picture. But
It's
if
a
you
steeple.
know
Yeah.
this is the steeple he talks about in the movie, this is the steeple he talks about in the book, then you have context, right? So then it makes it a little more interesting, I guess, for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alan says yes. I just checked. He did. Yep. So he did.
I thought he did. Yeah.
Okay. Like Patton's death. Yeah,
Yeah.
Patton. That's another one.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah.
That was yeah,
Was it? Yes.
But there's some great movies on the Battle of Colmar. It just so happens and it's one of the most important battles because the U.S. How do I say this? They have to
He's
get
pretty excited about this battle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I have a little bit of knowledge of this now, right? So
Well, you're there too. You're seeing it.
right.
And you get that
And the
knowledge.
thing is the most important thing, the difference between France and Germany is a river, right? So if you can get across the river, you got nothing stopping you to go from here all the way to Berlin. There's nothing left. This is the Rhine River is the last penetration. If you can get across that, there's nothing going to stop you. And so the Americans knew this. So they put a lot of forces into taking this location because it is so important. And of course, the Germans decide they're going to use the Battle of the Bulge and go through the Ardennes forest right here and come across. And of course, that was the major action that was going on at the time. So that's why everyone doesn't know about the Battle of Colmar, because it happens in December and January. It actually ends February 3rd, February 1st, I forget, 1945. But I think it's very interesting because, and I was going to get into this later, but I'll get into it now. The reason this area, if I could bring up that map again and bring it up here, I had everything saved, and now I've moved things around, and now I don't know.
Yeah, whereabouts in France? I know where it is, but a lot of people might not know whereabouts in France it is. I know the Battle of the Bulge was up the top there, getting up to Antwerp and all that sort of thing. But
all right, so Battle of Colmar is right here. It's almost directly east of Paris. All right, and it's this region right here between Strasbourg, Milhouse, and it's just north of Switzerland. It's kind of the southeastern point of France and Germany. And why is this important? Well, it's important because in the French and the Germans, they both claimed this territory for years and years and years, and they both think it's theirs. When Hitler talks about this territory to his general, he says, this is German territory. You cannot retreat from this. You must stand and fight to the last man because this is German territory. Even though technically it was across the Rhine, the Germans felt that it was theirs. And they basically have fought tooth and nail for this territory for years and years and years, as you can see here. So Louis the 13th of France took the town under his protection in 1635. It was later gradually annexed by France during 1648 to 1647. Colmar was annexed twice by the Germans, 1877 till 1919. And you know what happened in 1919, right? The end of World War I, and they had to give all their territory back to the rightful owners. So they annexed this for the longest time. And then with the armistice at the end of World War I, they had to give this territory back. Well, anyone that knows anything about Hitler knows Hitler was furious, and one of the reasons he got the German populace so behind him was the fact that Germany lost so much territory because of World War I and the annexes that happened at the end of World War I. Well, this is one of them. Was this area, the Colmar region, which was taken away from German and given it back to France. So Hitler swore when World War II happened that when they took this territory back, it was stay in German hands for 1,000 years.
Yeah, it was the humiliation of the defeat, the First World War, that fueled.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and
In fact, if you look at the names of the towns in this region, like half of them have German names.
I was going to say Colmar doesn't sound particularly French.
You can see
Colmar sounds German.
The village is like Strasselberg, right there by Colmar is Strasselberg. That's not a French name, for God's sakes. So that's why it's important.
Isn't that like the Alsace region? That's sort of Frenchy German, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. The Germans think this is ours. We were wrongfully given back to France. This should be ours, and the reason is because it's such a lush and vital area between Paris and Switzerland. There's like a path that goes from Paris down to Switzerland, and it cuts right through the Colmar. And anyways, I wish there would be more games. I'm trying to get Herman into making a game on the battle because I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Gareth's asking now, are you going to buy any games on the Colmar Pocket? I don't think there are any in the Colmar Pocket.
And the other thing is, we all know, and we should all know, that what do they say about the Battle of the Bulge and the weather? Right?
Snow, cold.
It was supposed to be the worst winter that they had in that region. Well, that was right there. So, of course, they had just as bad weather here, where it was supposed to be minus 20 degrees and 3 feet of snow, just like in what happened in the Battle of the Bulge. So it was hotly contested over, and the weather was horrible conditions. And there's one hill, which I'm going to show you, that was changed hands 6 times between the Americans, and the Germans had it. Then the Americans took it back, then the Germans, and back and forth and back and forth. And think of how many people died to take that one hill, and then you give it back up. And, it's just like, wow, all my buddies died to get us this hill, and then we give it back a week later. That would be disheartening, to say the least, right?
Yeah. But that's almost all wars are that way.
That's true. That is absolutely true. So anyways, that's what we're going to continue talking about in a little bit, but let's find out what happened today in history. Do you know what happened today in history?
I do. I'm not going to tell anybody.
Uh-oh. That's going to be a problem.
Keep it to yourself. Let them guess.
Yeah. Have a guess. What happened in 1630, Jester? Do you know today?
King Louis the 13th was around in 1630 because we just saw that.
Actually, it's something in your part of the world. A guy called John Billington, who was one of the original pilgrims who sailed to the New World on the Mayflower, became the first man executed in the English colonies. He was hanged for having shot another man during a quarrel. They knew how to have quarrels in them days, didn't they?
Wow.
Yeah. So there we are. It's nothing to do with military, sort of war-ish, but it was just, Well,
you think about it, you have a quarrel, the guy shoots him, the other guy gets hanged. The town's not going to have quarrels anymore.
That's well, we whizzed forward to 1840. And the foundation stone of Nelson's Column was laid in Trafalgar Square, very famous landmark we all know over here. And its foundation stone was laid today in 1840. 1915, World War I, of course. Now I'm going to murder the chap's name, so forgive me because he's Serbian. Radoji Lujutovac. He was a Serbian soldier, and he became the first soldier in history to shoot down an enemy aircraft with ground-to-air fire. So that happened today. 1938, the League of Nations unanimously outlawed the intentional bombing of civilian populations. So if they must have done that beforehand, but or because they knew war was coming. Nobody told the German painter that, did they, when they bombed London? But anyway, or when we bombed Cologne. Anyway, 1938 as well, Britain, France, Germany, and Italy signed the Munich Agreement, whereby Germany annexes the Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia. We all remember that with what's his face, Neville Chamberlain, with his piece of paper in his hand, getting off the plane. But it was instituted in the hope of avoiding war. Appeasement was the name given to Britain's policy in the 30s of allowing Hitler to expand German territory unchecked. Most closely associated with British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, it is now widely discredited as a policy of weakness, yes. But at the time, it was popular and seemed a pragmatic policy. Hitler's expansionist aims became clear in 1936 when his forces entered the Rhineland. 2 years later, in March 1938, he annexed Austria. At the Munich conference that September, Neville Chamberlain seemed to have averted war by agreeing that Germany could occupy the Sudetenland, the German-speaking part of Czechoslovakia. This became known as the Munich Agreement. In Britain, this agreement was greeted with jubilation. However, Winston Churchill, then estranged from government, was kicked out, and one of the few to oppose appeasement of Hitler described it as an unmitigated disaster. Appeasement was popular for several reasons. Chamberlain and the British people were desperate to avoid the slaughter of another world war. Britain was overstretched policing its empire and could not afford major rearmament. Its main ally, France, was seriously weakened, and unlike in the First World War, Commonwealth support was not a certainty. And many Britons also sympathised with Germany, believe it or not, which they felt had been treated unfairly following its defeat in 1918. But how weird. But despite his promise of no more territorial demands in Europe, Hitler was undeterred by appeasement, and in March 1939 he violated the Munich Agreement by occupying the rest of Czechoslovakia. 6 months later, in September 1939, Germany invaded Poland and Britain was at war. So that all started to happen today. If we'd have said no, they say, some people, experts say, if we'd have said no, then he wouldn't have done it, and there might not have been what happened afterwards. But because of that, in 1939, identity cards were issued in Britain for the first time to stop, spies and people coming across. So everybody had an identity card. And in 1944, Calais was reoccupied by the Allies. Calais is one of the places we go to when we go across the Channel. That's the sort of closest point to get into France and the rest of Europe. And last thing, 1944, the Germans commenced a counter-offensive to retake the Nijmegen salient, this having been captured by the Allies during Operation Market Garden. Again, not a lot of going on today. Just happens to be today. Maybe tomorrow tons of stuff went on. But today,
yeah, could be.
That's what happened.
I think it's funny how history and what we talk about, they intertwine so much.
Yeah.
Every week we talk about these things, and then you have something that you talk about.
And it crops up. Yeah, weird.
But that is so interesting.
Fun and fascinating. Yeah, so there we are today, 30th of, it's already the end of September, 30th of September. October tomorrow, not long till Christmas.
That's right. Tomorrow's October already.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's not
right. So I've got a game in mind.
Oh God.
I'm not sure Nerd Workshop has any. Do you have any games you want? Tony normally does a little thing about like P500.
Okay,
yes,
looking forward to or
think. Yes, but I don't want to step on Tony's toes and.
Right, and show them
how, you asked me 10 minutes before the show. It's kind of difficult for me to have something.
All right, well, I'm thinking of a game. This is so simple. This is.
He says that every week.
It's a layup.
Every week.
We're going to do so
Dave
bad.
knows how things work. Go. Oh my gosh.
David, Dangerous Dave is
Thank
pretty
you, Koye.
optimistic.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Nerd, you're on the hot seat. What do you say?
Yeah.
Is it I almost want to say Napoleonic now. Is it before 1700?
Is it before 1700? No, it is not before 1700. Oh, Jeffrey's stepping up to the plate here. He says nerd is going to be 7.
No, that's not me. That was
You've got a fan. He knows something.
All right, so hang on. Time out. Before we start, I'm going to give away a prize this week because we got nerd here.
Oh,
all right. So here's what I want to do.
Is it those Stukas?
It's not the Stukas. It's even better than the Stukas.
he still has
You
them.
can't get rid of them. Anyway.
He still has them.
I got some patches here.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
The actual World War II museum, which you're going to see photographs of. I ended up buying some, and I'm going to give away 3 of them to whoever guesses this correctly. So if you want to put in your correct guess, because this is now, it's for something. This isn't just a joke anymore. These are actual patches from the different
actual woven patches
in the Battle of Colmar.
Are they embroidered, proper embroidered patches?
Yeah.
No, they look really good. I want them. I'll guess 20. There we go.
Yeah, you might want to get on this. So this is
really cool.
This cost me 15 euros, and I've got 3, and then next time we'll have another 3. Ended up buying 6 of them, which cost me 30 euros to do this. But I'm willing to share with you guys. So this is going to be 4. You ready for this? The 36th Infantry Division, the Tank Destroyer Division.
Great name in it, Tank Destroyer. What do you do?
25th Infantry Division. 45th Infantry Division.
That's nice. They look good.
What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type in the chat right now. Put your guesses in.
So
now.
what you should do?
All right. So you now have
pick 30, and
2
then
minutes.
if either one of us know it, we'll wink, and we'll just keep guessing wrong stuff until we get to that one.
Put your guesses in now. Only ones after this count.
Count your guesses in now.
Yeah.
Pout.
So if you
can't
put your guess in
Dangerous
before that,
Dave.
it doesn't count. So Alistair says 14.
I'm
Dangerous
gonna be
Dave
pouting
says
here in a minute.
he can't pout. Meandering Mites is 17. We
Oh,
have
so I get to start
Dangerous
over again?
Dave with
So now I'm
42.
gonna go.
still.
Is it after 17?
Thanks, Dave.
Historic Wing says 15. Garth Evans says
More at the top. There's
16.
loads at the top as well.
Dangerous Dave
Edwards
might
says
be onto something.
19.
Yeah,
Mike says 18. Oh my gosh.
Mike's pretty positive there.
Wow. So we got 14, 17, 42, 13, 15, 16, 19, 18. Now, guys, I am going to have you not post in the chat any guesses because I don't want you to influence our 2 guessers. Please.
Well, I'll tell you what you do.
Ooh.
Email me at roughswordsman@gmail.com.
If you want to email Ruff, that's fine. Don't post it in the comments section, though.
Man,
We're guessing the game that I am thinking of, and you're guessing how many guesses it's going to take Nerd or Ruff to guess the game that You ever play 20 guesses?
Did
That's
you not
what we're
hear me say
basically
that? I
doing.
just want something dull and non-pressure for the 2 hours. You know.
Yeah,
and
you
now
don't want this. You come away.
he
You
throws
come
this
on here
on
to
me.
get away for the
So
match.
the first question number 1 was from Nerd. It was.
Oh no, I take that back now.
Nope, too late.
No, I take
Is
it.
it
Well, I
before
didn't know we were playing
1700?
for
So
money.
that was no. So it's not before 1700. So that was guess number 1. Guess number 2, Ruff.
Do I own it?
No, you do not own this game.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Question number 3.
man. Well, now, am I to assume because it's the war room that it's going to be a war game and not something
It will definitely be a war
Okay.
game.
All right.
It's the only time he
Well-
mentions war. He plays a war game. Yeah.
Let's
It's not going to be a. Let's just say it's not going to be a Euro game or a card game or something
Okay.
like that. It'll
All
be, it'll be
normally
a
it's-
game that you have heard of, that you might have played, that you might have even owned. I don't know your collection, but you own it. But I know
Might have
Ruff
owned it.
doesn't own it.
Right.
So that's a big clue as to what it might be.
Yeah,
Again,
might have
if
owned.
you are in the chat, do not guess any games because that's going to influence our people here.
That's what we rely on.
Is it is it from a company that's still around?
Yes, it is from a company that's still around.
That takes out a few.
It takes out a few for sure.
So you said it was it pre what 1700?
Yeah.
Is it post 1939?
Is it post 1939? Yes, it is post 1939.
So is it Second World War or after?
Oh, hang on. I got to ban someone here.
He's
He
from
put in the
my
chat.
part of
Is
the
it
world.
Monopoly? So Dangerous Dave's been banned. So that was question number 5. What was your question, Rob?
No,
Is it
you've
post
answered.
1939? Yeah.
His is question number 4.
Huh?
His is question number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so yeah, now we're going on to question number 5.
No, 5. Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
5.
So yours was post
Is
39.
it
right?
after 1939?
39. Okay.
So I don't know. What
Is
you
it
wanna do.
after 1945?
Yes, it is.
Ah.
So that was number 5. Number 6. Oh, Jeffrey is really hoping you guys nail something good
Oh
because he's
God,
only
no,
got a
Jeffrey!
couple
No,
out.
you know what? If you've not seen this before, you know we always go into double figures normally.
Yeah, I don't know what planet you're living on, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I love you for it, but it's no way, mate.
Appreciate the confidence.
Is it set? Oh God! Is it set during the Vietnam War? I know you had one of these the other week.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Oh, you've given who was it? Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey's woke up again.
Oh, you've given Jeffrey hope because you've narrowed it down.
He's still my beating heart, he says. Right.
Oh, so you said it wasn't a con game.
So the only people I know who make Vietnam games, and you maybe is it Flying Pig? Is it Flying Pig? Yeah.
No, GMP. Is it a GMT game? They also make Vietnam games.
For question number 7, is it a GMT game? Yes, it is a
Ah,
GMT
well done.
game.
Now then. Oh, is it that one that Mitch redid? Mitch Lang hasn't been out. It was a remake of an old. Was it Victory Game or?
Yeah, I think it was Victory Game.
What was that called? Because you're the expert.
I'm not. Vietnam 19. Was just Vietnam, but then there was Fire Island too.
Oh, there's thingy towards front and all that. Oh God, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called, Nerdy. I could actually look it up, but I can't remember.
Question 8. Come on, Ruff. You can do this. Question 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, question 8.
Question 8. Sorry, Jeff, it's gone now. Was it not designed? Was it revamped by Mitch Lang?
No, it was not designed or revamped by Mitch Land. No.
It's not that one then. Is that Front Towards Enemy? He's the other one I know. No, that's an MMP game, isn't it? Yeah, I think.
Damn it.
So question number 9. I think we have Koi as a question. He said 9. So if you get it right now, Koi
He's won.
might be very happy with you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's not going to be very happy with you.
I know it's Vietnam, but I can't remember what's after it. I don't know, Vietnam by GMT.
No, question 9 is not. Is it Vietnam by GMT? No.
That'd be question 8. I'm even, he's odd.
Question, what are we doing, 10?
He's 9.
He's
I'm
9.
even, he's odd. No, I'd be
No,
1.
you
No,
started.
he's
No, you
10. He's
started.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 10, Ruff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be 8.
I just can't remember the name of the game.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people in the chat that
I
are
know.
screaming.
I can hear them
They are
mentally
screaming at their screen right now.
Yeah.
It's a GMT game that Vietnam.
Yeah,
That
GMT
narrows
Vietnam.
it down to like 3 games. You've named 2 of them. There's only one other game that you haven't named.
There's the Flying Pig one, which we had. That was.
Well, you know it's a
No, it's
GMT,
GMT.
game.
It's
I know.
GMT.
No, I'm just trying to think.
Next to Napoleon, that's the other one.
It is. Well, is it a coin game?
That's your guess? No wonder it takes you 15 to guess.
All right. I can't remember the name of the game.
There's only one game that's a coin.
Well, you've already asked, so the question is yes, it is
Yeah,
a coin
I can't
game.
remember
But you said it wasn't a coin game or anything like that before.
I
They're
never
not war
said that.
games. Oh,
It's a war game, yeah. Run back the tape. Fire Island?
Fire in the lake. Say that.
Fire in the Lake. Fire in the Lake. That's it.
Fire in the lake.
Fire
Is
Island.
it fire
I was
in
thinking of
the
Plum
lake
Island.
is the question. For 12, was this 12 guesses?
No, it'd be 11.
11.
11.
Yeah, that's
Fire
pretty good
in
for
the
me.
lake.
See, not being a coin. See, you're pretty safe
GMT.
picking coin games because I don't play them.
Who had 11? Anyone out there have 11? No.
No, I
not a
thought
single
when I
person had
asked if it was a
11.
war game, he said no, it wouldn't be a coin game, it wouldn't be this. So I discounted that one right away because when he first said Vietnam, I thought of
Yeah,
that.
it wouldn't be card driven.
I wouldn't have got the name right.
No.
Ah,
See,
Not a
it's
single
sly-
person guessed 11. Everyone guessed 12, 23, 18, 19, 16, 15, 17, 14, 42.
well,
No one guessed
technically, yeah,
12.
technically that would have been 12 because
Have you-
I said
have you-
Fire
hold on.
Island and
1,
Ruff
2,
said
3,
Fire
4,
in the
5,
Lake.
6, 7, 8.
that would have been
No, I said it to say to you.
That was
No, I
11.
said it to say to you. Say it.
That was
No,
11.
I said Fire Lake, and then you said no, Fire, and you said Fire Island. So technically that would have been 12. There you go.
No.
I think
I
it's 12
said, is it a coin game? 11. And then you said, what's the name of that? I said, say Fire in the Lake. And you said Fire
No.
in the Lake.
No, I'm the odd because I'm number 1. I'm going to be the odd number. You're always even.
Right. It's
Oh, all right.
11. It was 11.
11 then. Right. Okay.
But I said Fire Island, and then he stopped and said no, Fire Lake. See, so I'm. He told me to say it, but he said it actually first, number 12.
It was either that
I'd
or
give it a 12.
silver bayonet. Yeah, Mike knew.
Oh,
Mike
yeah,
knew.
that's the other one.
Well, they all
Yeah.
knew it. Yeah, they all knew it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name because Vietnam. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways,
Have
Battle
you
of
really?
Colmar.
Hold on. Have you really banned for all time Dangerous Dave? My mate Dangerous Dave.
I banned him for.
It's just been banned, and his comments were destroyed.
He's gone forever.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's my
gosh.
mate Dangerous
Wow,
Dave.
this-
Oh my gosh.
You
He is
guys
gone
gotten
forever.
mean since the last time
I
I've
can't
been
even-
on, man. You
I
guys
can't
really
even
got
unban him.
He's
Wow.
the guy that taught me.
Ah.
Well, he's not going to teach you much anymore. He's not allowed
Teach
to.
TG
you-
has
he
the
doesn't
same
come back
monopoly.
anymore.
TG
I
has
think-
the same monopoly. Fred had 12. Fred was close. Good job, Fred. You're almost there. If you would have guessed 11, you would have been a winner. Sorry.
What was is it 11 or 12? Because I'm even.
It was nerd. 11.
Well,
Right. 11.
I said Fire Lake, and I was wrong. And then you said, Fire. I said Fire Island, and you said Fire in the Lake.
I remember it.
But I already threw my answer as Fire Island in.
All right. So, anyways, here we go. We're moving on.
Banning people for
dad
life.
jokes. Who else we're going to ban?
He's going to be moaning at me. I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
ban
No,
everyone.
next week I'll come on in. It'll be Nerd Workshop banned for life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Banned
Dan,
and-
that's right. He taught you fighting formation.
That's right. Yes, I could. Thank you, Gareth, because Gareth was sitting there as well.
Day in history.
You didn't mean to do it. He's pushed the wrong button, hasn't he? You've pushed down the trapdoor button, haven't you?
Oh, all right. Here
All
we
of a sudden,
go.
the
You
trap
ready?
door
You
open.
wanna see the
He's
picture?
gone.
Here we go. We're going to show you some pictures. now.
That's so cool. Cool. Well, it's not so bad to be banned if you're just going to show pictures.
Right? That should be a bonus. So here's we are at the museum here, which is a great museum.
Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about your lighting here. So your lighting now, you have your key subject in the shadow.
In the shadows under the tree dapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't you talk to God or come back when the light was better? So, again, we're going to talk about that.
Right?
Yeah, it's not centered.
No. Well, I don't mind it being rule of thirds, but yeah. But couldn't you erase all those people back there? We don't like those people in there. That just throws
Right.
whole
See,
picture
they
off.
distract the eye. They draw the eye over, don't
Yeah,
they?
a lot of headspace there.
Here's the 105 howitzer M2A1 carriage M2A2.
You could have centered that a little better.
I know.
Keep on it. He might go, sod it, I'm not doing it anymore.
Here's a little memorial to Charles de Gaulle.
Why is he buried there?
No, he's actually
That's
not
a
buried
memorial.
there. It's just like a little memorial. So you go inside the museum and then you go down these stairs, and standing like when you walk in is this huge bomb there. Holy cow! I don't know. Was that 1,000-pound, 2,000-pound bomb?
That's a big old boy, isn't it?
It is a big one. All right, so here are the units that participated in the Battle for Colmar in 1944 and 1945. Lists all the different
I'm trying,
ones.
Mike.
There's all kinds of pictures and
Oh,
stuff.
Dave.
For that.
I'm having a drink, take away the pain.
My uncle, when he did a lot of slideshows for his vacation, he'd always throw a naked woman in there every once in a while.
And
I
they
got
go,
one. I got one coming.
Yeah.
I got one. Just wait. Here's the picture of Colmar after the battle. That looks
Good.
really appetizing, doesn't
and
it?
that's the spire you're talking about, is it?
No, that's a different one. Yeah, no.
It's one that lived.
They said the village of Colmar, 98% was destroyed, as you can see.
Isn't it weird, though, that normally churches and the like survive all the bombing? Like that spire is obviously, I'm assuming, is a church or something.
Yeah.
Well, Notre
It is
Dame
interesting.
would disagree with you on that.
Yeah, but that's big. That's a huge. You're not going to miss that, are you? Even I could hit that.
All right, then we got some. Now we're going to be going through the museum step by step, showing you all the cool stuff. So you got this bazooka and sniper rifles. I showed you this picture earlier. It's got a machine gun. All the different pistols. And it's interesting that this battle happened in December 1944, January 1945, and a couple days in February. But you look at all the different things that participate in this battle. Look at all the different pistols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different pistols. I mean, what's the chances? That's just crazy.
That's just one guy.
Yeah, that's just one guy's stuff.
And all kinds of nice little rifles, machine guns. Here's a what's the name of this gun? It's like KA-44 or something like that. Here's some pinchers
KAR.
after the battle. Here's some helmets.
That'd be how many I'd be wearing.
Here's some U.S. issued equipment.
That's a bayonet, right? The knife with the handle.
It says
thing.
U.S. 1918 on it, though.
Yeah, that always looks so dangerous to me. That's just a
What,
wicked
one with the
weapon.
knuckle duster on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for getting in close and nasty.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you, this is kind of interesting thing up here in the top right-hand corner is a canister that somebody actually carved all the different locations that they went to on it.
Wow.
Rome, Naples, Nancy, Strasbourg.
Then it stops with a bullet hole going right through it.
Yeah, and then there's a bullet hole in the bottom, and you go, uh-oh, that's not a good one. Here's some more artifacts that were found. This is the Moroccan. There was a Moroccan division. I think it was Moroccan.
Arabic, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a Moroccan division that participated in this battle. So they had a little section, obviously, for them.
He's got, where are your boots? Why are you wearing your sandals? You're not in the desert now. Come on.
Right. And then, of course, all kinds of German propaganda things.
Yeah.
It's
funny. My friend was raised, and I worked with a guy a long time ago that was raised in Germany as a kid. And they used to do dioramas. The schools would do dioramas of the war. And he did one. And that night, the SS came and visited his house because he had Americans surrendering and Germans surrendering. So they came and visited his house to talk about how that was inappropriate.
Dear oh Lord.
Basically, what I found is these museums show you the 500 million ways to kill other people, basically, is what this museum is. Because, I mean, there are so many different pictures of knives and swords and, I mean, crazy stuff.
But that's what I liked about
the other side of that book. You know, there's another whole group of things.
Yeah, but that's what I liked about the Imperial War Museum. It showed you the social side of it as well. It showed you typical.
Oh yeah, you're going to see a bunch of pictures of like these are actual pictures of the guys that were there and had carried around pictures of themselves. Here's a what is that? Like a
bit late. Look, Gareth sending me hints and tips for the quiz. Thank you, Gareth. See, I've got my fans.
Oh, brother.
Is that their passport or?
Here's one of their uniforms.
Yeah, they don't look so smart now. They were getting very sort of drabby and put together quick. They run out of money.
There are little bullets, medium-sized bullets, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger.
Can you mention being hit by one of them?
Jeez. Or just standing when it goes by you?
Yeah.
Here is the Senegal division. And you can see here's like a pitch, one of the bullets there, so you can kind of see the size of that. Some more artifacts from different people, and here's actually part of a plane that was, I think it was a BF-109 that was shot down.
Well, it looked like it had 4 props.
And then they had these, little dioramas going on here. Here's the Germans waiting for their turn with the MG-42 there. And the snow and the jackets and everything you can see everyone wearing because it was so cold. More camouflage stuff. There's one of the commanders, German commanders' hats. This is like the newspaper from, I think it was February 1st.
That's cigarettes there.
Yeah, look at that.
And checkers. This is like a magazine or book or something. There's some
potato mashers.
yeah.
As they used to be called. Yeah.
Some American grenades there. You can see the difference in the size. Holy crap.
Now, see, Thomas is, because Thomas being the expert that he is, thank goodness, saying that propeller looked like a Pratt & Whitney radio engine and a 4-bladed Hamilton standard prop.
All right, there you go.
There you go. If in doubt, ask Thomas.
Sounds better than what I said. So I find this shot of all the pictures that I took so interesting because if you play
Fields of Fire.
Right. If you play Fields of Fire, I've always tried to wrap my head around units running around with all these different smoke canisters. And I'm like, I have never seen in all the pictures, all the movies, everything I've seen ever, I've never seen a guy carrying around a bunch of, these cartridges that he can shoot up. What are they called? Flares or whatever. And this is actual proof that, yes, they did do that. I can't believe that. So if I wanted to put up blue smoke, I put out my little blue canister, I put it in my little thing, and I shoot it up, and boom, there goes my blue smoke. I've never seen that before. Has anyone ever seen that besides me sharing this with you guys? Ruff, have you ever seen any of that?
I've seen them. I know of them.
Have you? Okay.
They weren't a prop. Yeah, they weren't sort of unknown to me with Fields of Fire. I think that's the only game that uses smoke to change, like ceasefire or move.
I think that was like one of the most interesting things because I was like, wow, they did actually do that. And then there's like this little thing he put on his belt to carry around with him. That was crazy.
Cool. Look at that bullet. Jeez.
It kind of sucked, though, Everybody else issued weapons and you get smoke grenades.
Yeah, what do I get, Sarge? You get this, son.
I can't trust you, man. you scored it lowest. Here you go. Yeah. You get this. Just shoot it in the air. That's all you got to do. You can't miss.
What I liked about this museum is not only did they have like the real stuff, they had all the other stuff, cigarettes, the checkers games.
Do you know Job? Can you see the Job thing there? They're still going. They make cigarette papers and things like that.
Wow.
If it's the same company, that is.
Huh. Look at that MG42. Holy cow.
It got hot very quickly.
And of course, that made it look like he was, that's what they would have done. Stick him in the window like that, right?
Wait for you.
Rascals.
Here's like a mortar team here. It's me. Here I am. Trying to show you that, yes, I am there.
Yeah, well, your typical happy, non-smiling face. Look at you. Look, you're miserable.
Yeah.
This is, some of the French stuff. You can see the different French helmets. Some of the different divisions.
So were these taken from your phone?
Yes.
They're not bad phone cameras, are they? Not bad.
We actually have a class this year on phone photography.
Oh, right.
Just more. Here's a manual on landmines and booby traps.
See, we tend to think, I don't know, I do, when you hear the booby traps, you tend to think of like the Vietnam War, where they booby trap the bodies. But no, they've been going on since time immemorial, haven't they?
Yeah. There's grenades.
Pineapples. Yeah.
I think those are the ones they shot off the ends of the rifles.
Oh, the rifle grenades, are they? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see the thing on the end. Yeah.
More ways to kill people.
That was suck.
Look at the size of these bullets. Holy crap. I couldn't even tell you what some of them
I don't think they're shooting those at people.
But if it lands nearby, you're going to know it, aren't you? So, what the heck was that, you'll say?
Yeah, I mean,
It's at that
you go
building
from-
behind you.
You go
Yeah.
from tiny up to mammoth. Just, and then here's
Tanks.
some of the tanks that
Tanks were
participated.
small
in
over there,
battle.
weren't they?
Yeah, they're very. Yeah, how did they get over all the rubble? These small tanks. They're not.
Not
Were
real
they
big.
radio controlled? Sorry. We're not taking this seriously. Sorry.
I am. I love this. I love this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh no, I love saying museums.
And even
and
the
love.
money at the time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Actual dollars from then.
Money, and they have some cigarette lighters, some more cigarettes, some
That was back
patches.
when money was backed by silver and gold.
Yeah.
Here's some of the
Medical
medical
stuff.
supplies. Here's some of that adhesive tape that we still have in the little circly thing.
Same stupid thing. Yeah, it's just
Oh my
plastic now.
God. It's like directions on how to put this on covering someone's eye.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Somebody's got a
Deck of playing cards, a Superman magazine. Here's that. Maybe this is what I was thinking of, the BF 109 that got shut down.
Well, I saw a video. Is it a BF or an ME?
Depends on
And
where it's
old
made.
Messerschmitt himself says it's ME is the correct.
Well, what does he know?
Well, but I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
the only reason I said that is I thought that MEs had 3-bladed props.
This is
Could
interesting.
be wrong
How many
about
of you remember the fact that they rotate the
Look at the
spiral
bore on
grooves,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that way the bullet spins, so it'll
it's
travel
accurate.
straight. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it gives it more accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It straightens it up.
Hey, see how big it is compared to me? And all right, so here we are. We're done with that. We're moving back to the village. So
Rifling, yes.
here we are. We're coming up to let's see. All right, so
Rifling,
now it's context time. Now it's context time. So let's bring this
That
over.
looks like a vineyard.
Let's go big here. So all right, so here's the battle, or here's the town of Colmar. All right, so we're gonna zoom out a little bit, right? So here's the town of Colmar. Here's the Rhine River. So it's about 10 miles from Colmar to here. Now the important thing is, let me show you a different one first, because it'll give you a better context of. Oh, did I close the damn thing? Hang on. Okay, so all right, so we're going to zoom in again. So here's France, right? Here's the battle. Here's Paris.
Oh, look, that's where I
Here.
live. Look, yeah, look, hey, that's where I live.
There's Ruff right there.
Yeah.
Right, coming down. Where are you, Ruff?
Up a bit. To the right a bit. Right. The other right. That's it. Zoom in there. I'm sort of, no, a bit above that. But anyway, that part of the world, that's where I am. Sort of there. Yeah, there.
In north?
No, that's southeast or south. Yeah, that's the River Thames there.
Are you north of London? Where are you?
No, I'm outside London. I'm sort of to the right a little bit. You got South
Right over
End
here?
there. Can you see South End?
South
Leon
End?
Sea.
Something at home?
Oh, well, anyway, no, forget it. It's there somewhere. No, you're rubbish. Remind me not to get into a car with you.
I am not rubbish. You are terrible with directions. How about?
No, I said up, right. No, the other right. Anyway.
Where? Let's see where Ruff is.
No, you've got to zoom in a bit more there. No, up,
Okay.
no, up.
Up. Here's the river. Are you north of the river or south?
I'm not in London.
Okay, so you're east of London.
Can you see any of those towns there? Right on the coast. Go to the coast there. In. No. Wait, up a bit there, where the estuary is.
Okay.
No, that's not the estuary. Oh dear. That big gap where the River Thames comes out into the sea is the estuary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sort of where I am.
What's it called?
Basildon.
Hazelden.
Hold on, let me.
All right. Anyways,
Yeah, but it's there. All I said was it's there and thereabouts. I didn't want you to go Google my house.
Anyway, so the important part with the Colmar is when we switch to layers here and go to terrain. The important thing is you can see there's this mountain range over here. The river cuts between it, and then there's another mountain range. So it's basically like a big valley where, and it's a very rich valley because all the runoff, the rain, all the nutrients get sucked into the river. So that's what makes this area very fertile, and they make really good wine, and they have lots of resources there. You'll hear about this several different times. You can see just northwest of Colmar is Hill 351, which has the American Memorial. And then up here behind this is the French Memorial. And you can see all the graves and stuff up there in the corner. Well, we're going to be seeing pictures from this location here shortly, so you can kind of have your context of what's going on. So this is looking up towards the hill in the bus. And here we are coming up on top of the hill here. And there's the memorial, the U.S. Memorial we talked about. And it has all the different unit flags there. And then looking off of this hill 351, and anyone know why hills are named? Anyone? Like Hill 351. Does anyone know why it's named Hill 351?
Go on then.
Anyone? I'm going to give everyone a second to type it in the chat because I'm sure there's probably some smart guys. There we go.
Yeah.
Alistair, it's the height. So Hill 351 means it's 351 meters or whatever. Yeah.
Yards, probably.
Yeah. So this is Hill 351. And you can see what a clear view you have from the top of the hill across into the valley. And then across, you can see those mountains that I pointed out. That's why I wanted to give you context so you can see.
So you can see why hills are important.
So why was this important? Well, there's mountains over there, and there's mountains where we're at. And then whoever owns this hill can see everything between us and that other mountain over there.
That's why it was contested so many times.
Yeah.
You find this with many battles that involve hills. You know, it's and a lot of famous battles are named after the hill.
Yeah. And so what I did here is I took a picture, and then I went a little right, took another picture, and then it's kind of like a panoramic, but not really a panoramic. So here's a little bit more towards the right, and then here is more towards the right. And then you're going to see a little bit different view here as I move up, and this little town right here. If we look at where's that? Where the hell is it? I lost it now. God damn it. All right, here's Colmar. There we are. All right, so it's right up here. There we go. See? Smart. So this is kind of like a 3D view. This is the American Memorial that has the flags, and then you're standing here looking across the valley, right? And then up here's farther up on the hill is the French Memorial up here. And then looking down over here this way is this town right here, which has got a German name. I forget the name of it. But it's got like a German name. So I'm giving you kind of context of where we're at and what we're taking pictures of. Trying to, anyways. So there's that town. I'm looking right at it. And then you can see the other hills surrounding, or the other mountains surrounding the area. More pictures. And the most important thing of this is, and even back in 1944, this area was known for their wine, and they built wineries everywhere. And the thing was, in wintertime, you know what happens to the wine vineyards? All the vines turn into, like, basically, think of them it's like a trap, right? Because they just are like wood, kind of spirally things that are laying on the ground everywhere. And so you couldn't move anywhere unless you were on a road, because you would run into a vineyard, and the vineyard would just swallow all the units and entangle all of their vines around the vehicle or the leg units or anything. And then here's at the memorial where the flag is, kind of showing you the towns and the river and how everything's kind of laid out. What do you think of that picture, huh? Come on, nerd. Critique time.
No critique.
Yeah.
Too dark. Yeah, too dark. I'm just saying. You said critique.
Hey, what have they done? I thought that was in New York. What have they done? The French.
So, does anyone know why I have this picture? Anyone know why I have this picture? Someone out there. Let's hope there's some smart individual.
They're all.
Because that's the original model that they based the big one on.
No, it's not the original model that they based the other one on.
That's my guess.
What's a French thing, wasn't it? Designed by a French person.
Yeah.
Well,
so the reason, and I'll give everyone just another couple seconds before I tell you the reason this is there.
It's a bad Photoshop, Mike.
No one knows. All right, no one knows. The real reason this is there is because the Frenchman that made the Eiffel Tower was from Colmar.
You mean the
and
Statue
so
of Liberty?
This one was a representation of the one that they shipped over to the U.S. This actually faces the one in the U.S., and the one in the U.S. actually faces this one. So they're sisters that look upon one another all year around.
Well, that's Statue of Liberty, not Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
But then now, so
I'm sorry. Yeah. So this guy is from France.
Yeah.
He's designed the Statue of Liberty, not the Eiffel Tower. Ignore that.
So now, which one faces the one in Vegas?
I didn't know there was one in Vegas.
There's a pretty cheap, nasty one, isn't there?
Yeah, it's pretty good size. Probably about as big as that one.
And then they have all these little stork things.
Over the
storks. They have storks over there. They have these stork towers, and you can actually see the little head of a stork up there, which was weird because all the storks normally had left by this time.
How else would they get babies?
So now we're on to the Audie Murphy Memorial. So here kind of talks about it, if you can read French.
That's what I love about the French, you see. They don't have an English translation. If we had one over here, we'd have it in English, French, German, Spanish.
Well, they do have it down here. You could just take your little phone and scan the scan the little barcode and give it to you either in English or German. And there's part of the plaque. And then here is the field. Whoa, big deal, Jester. Yeah, I know, right? Well, here's the actual, let's talk about the Audie Murphy Memorial. So we're standing right here is where we're standing. I have then moved to the edge of the forest, and we are looking across this field, back of this town here. That's where we're seeing. We're seeing this field. There's the town. This is where his last stand was. This is the German town. This is where the Germans were coming down this road.
This is Audie Murphy's big moment, yeah?
This is where Audie Murphy makes his stand with those 13 guys. They end up destroying the 2 tanks that come out. And he gets on top of the tank and repulses the rest of the Germans with that machine gun on top of I think it was the Wolverine they got on top of. And so that's the context for this picture of open field, because this is the actual town. And then you'll see it here in a second. I think I got a better picture of it. Yeah, this is that tower. Very famous tower they keep talking about. that he keeps talking about in his book and the movie. He sees the tower, which is like 1 hour or 1 mile away, and everything is done based upon how far everything is from that tower. So when he calls in his artillery strikes, he says, aim, 500 yards short of the tower.
Kind of amazing to think that, there are dead bodies everywhere and all kinds of carnage all over that
Right.
Look at
place.
it now. It's peaceful.
Yeah, you look at it now, it looks very peaceful, very tranquil.
Right. And you actually, when we drove back there, it's like goes back into a park and
Yeah.
like if you didn't know it was there, like it's got that one little plaque and stuff, you would just drive right by. You wouldn't even know it.
It's just the town.
And then so they're like, oh, we're going to be passing a bunker here on the left-hand side. So I was just like, click, click, click. And you'll get to see it as we drive by. Ooh, see that?
We've got loads of those in
I know, right?
my part of the
They're
world.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think
Pillboxes.
that is it for my...
Yeah, good point, Thomas. Is there still stuff there? I mean, wouldn't you love to go around with a really good
I'm sure everyone has been...
Yeah, I'm willing to bet there were a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
So then there's this Battle for the Colmar Pocket. If you want to read about it and find out more information, obviously go to Wikipedia, talks about it, the German view. And we just, kind of glossed over it and said the reasons the Germans were not going to give up this area was because they thought it was Germany, right? And you always hear the stories. The reason the A-bomb was dropped in Nagasaki was because, the Japanese were going to put up such a fanatical defense of their home territory. Well, same thing happened here in the Battle for Colmar.
Well, I think it's more of Mr. Adolf's things that drove the German soldiers to defend to the last man.
Right, and then talks about the Audie Murphy and some other people, and talks about the bridge. Now, we did go by the bridge, but I didn't get a picture of it because it was on the other side of the bus.
Go back and get one.
Yeah, what kind of show are you showing here? We're going to miss the bridge.
It's the bridge.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, I know.
So did Tony know what the show was? Maybe he isn't so
like
sick.
To see that stuff
he knew it was coming.
Oh, okay. All right.
And see it. There
right.
is, as I talked about, let's see here. Where are these movies that I would recommend if you're interested? Let's see. Here's a really good one. This is that one that I just did. There's the U.S. Memorial one, right?
Nice drone shot.
Right? Yeah. I don't have any drones, so.
Drones are great.
We got about 8 of them.
It's kind of nice. Here's so here's heel 351, and then here's heel 390, 393 or whatever it is up here. And then there's the French Memorial.
Is there American memorial or graveyard there, or did they?
There's not.
Ship the bodies back, yeah.
Which is weird because they have. If you look at the French one and how big it is, you would think, oh my God, there would have to be just as big a American one or twice as big. But I guess the lady said that all the U.S. that died, they shipped them to a different cemetery someplace. I forget the name of it, but let's see here. So this is this World War II Wayfinder he does quite a few videos that I think he will, if you enjoy and want to find out more about this battle, he talks about it.
Yeah.
He goes to the different sites. He actually goes to, there's the Audie Murphy Memorial. And I'm standing, when I take that picture across the field, right over here. Right over here. And then you see the field over there. I don't think you see it in his thing, but and he goes, there's that same thing that I took a picture of. And the right there, look at it. See that?
So what you're saying is he did a much better job than you.
He did a much better job than me. For sure.
Lighting is pretty nice. But it's easier to get lighting on film.
I'm joking.
When Audie Murphy was holding by the Germans, did he not sustain leg injury? Yes.
Injuries or something.
I think he was shot 3 times,
Oh,
from
3
what I
times.
remember. I'm just trying to remember. And the one thing that they kept talking about was the bitter cold. The bitter cold, right? You're stuck. It's December. It's cold. It's snowy. Audie Murphy in his book talks about the only time for December and January that his feet were not frozen was when he was on top of the tank. And because the tank was burning inside, it was so hot, his feet actually thawed, and he could feel the feeling in his toes for the first time.
That's one of the worst things, having cold feet, having as a child, because my father was working on building sites, and it's freezing, and you go there and nothing. I know it's nothing like this, but having cold, frozen feet is the worst thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But what a hero! What a hero!
World War II Wayfighter. Check out his channel. I watched like 3 or 4, and they were really educational on the stuff that I seen and the stuff that I took pictures of. So I have a reference for when he's doing his little drone and stuff. You guys might not, but at least you can learn some stuff if you're interested in finding out. So there you go. Hopefully that was educational and informative enough.
It was.
That
it's a battle
cool.
that
I know
very
new,
little
right?
about.
If you learn something new, that's the goal.
And something I learned as well, that Mark Simonich does tours of battlegrounds, and he did one in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have known about it, I would have, thought, let me, because it's going to be in my part of the world, aren't they? So realize that. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. But it's a battle I didn't know much about. I'd heard of it, but that's about it.
It's funny, when I started doing war games and I got into the American Revolutionary series there, and I started reading books on the American Revolution, and then that led to some reading of the Civil War, and like a lot of the generals in the Civil War were grandchildren of generals, and I never knew that. I mean, I just thought they were a whole bunch of different people.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, here's the one thing I learned from this is wargaming is not realistic at all. Like, not realistic at all. Like, if I had units like Audie Murphy, right, and I was trying to defend units trying to cross over that field like that, it wouldn't have happened the way it happened in real life, is what I'm saying. War games can't simulate that. Like somebody typed in, Garth, -1 movement in open, -1 non-assault, right?
That's the best you can do.
I get a -2 to my die roll, right? So,
unless it's Audie Murphy.
You find out that one guy standing on a tank with a machine gun can hold back a whole platoon plus 2 tanks. Right?
So if somebody designs a game on that conflict, they've got to have the Audie Murphy unit, haven't they?
Yeah, or it was a green company, a very green company. So.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Right.
No, visiting places where there are battles, it's always intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think seeing these things is, and just so you can get in your vision, right? When I was standing there and looking across the field, I'm like, if I was standing here with the rifle, right, and I saw some guy, could I shoot him? I was like, yeah, I could probably shoot somebody.
Well, you'd be cacking yourself, wouldn't you? You'd be the fear that both sides must. It works both ways. The fear of all that crazy.
Yeah, well, it's like anything, Like I go to these air shows and they have World War I planes there, and and I'm watching these guys get up in these things. I'm thinking they're idiots.
They're poodling on 20 miles an hour.
And these guys are up there shooting each other and pushing them to the limits. It's like,
right.
Here's
something else. If you're not familiar with Audie Murphy, he was only 5'7", and when he tried to join the army the first time, they said no because he was too young. So the second time he learned from his mistake, and he altered his birth certificates to be a year earlier. So when you see his real records and stuff. It gives them actual birthday of a year was before he was actually born, because that's according to his military records.
Tell you what,
but he wasn't born in, I think it was 1922, but he was really born in like 23.
Yeah, a lot of guys did that. I would have thought, just to. I bet they wish they hadn't when the thing kicked off. But yeah, a lot of boys did that.
Man.
Well, a lot of history for you guys today. So, I mean, people that like the history, I'm sure they love it. The other people that didn't like the history, they probably have already left the channel. But oh well, we can't make everyone happy. So,
well, no, I mean, it's
do what we can do.
That's right.
It's like, and as Mike says, the life expectancy of a pilot in World War I was measured in minutes. If you watch Blackadder, the final series, they're called the 20-minuters, and they're thinking, oh, we just fly for 20 minutes and that's it. No, that's how long you're going to last. So
yeah, that was from takeoff. The takeoff point, minutes. But they said, I was reading one history book on it because I did a lot in the aircraft stuff when I was working with the Air Age. And so I read up on a lot of World War I pilots and stuff. But overall, the average of all the pilots that were in World War I, the average lifespan was 2 weeks. But I mean, they're comparing the guy who lived throughout the whole thing and all the guys in between. But yeah, there were many guys that on their first takeoff would flip the plane and break their neck. Yeah,
the Jay's saying, "You sure they've not left? You just banned them."
Hey, I haven't heard anything from Dave.
No, because you've banned him and destroyed all his comments.
Dave's been really quiet. What's amazing me is
there's Dave.
I wonder if he'll come back.
Come back, Dave. Come back. Where, Dave? Dave. Oh man,
you can't. You've banned him. You've pushed the red ban button, haven't you? That means.
Oh my gosh.
Gone down the chute.
Can I edit that? No, I don't think I can. I think he's screwed.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, that's good then that we are alternating the hosting, because he can come on 2 out of 3.
He'll be there 2 out of 3 weeks. He'll be there.
Yeah. All right, what's coming up on the channel, fellas?
I'm just saying, Gareth made a good point. It adds background to our hobby.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing. I know it's not to everybody's taste, but for me,
when I was going through high school and young, I had no interest in the Civil War at all, and then I met a gentleman that he collected letters from Civil War from the kids sending home to their parents, and reading these letters of the night before battles and stuff, and just reading those just broke I mean, I was young then, and it's still breaking my heart. I couldn't believe what they were writing about, and that got me interested in it.
And do you know what? I watched a film the other day about it. I know there's been a bit of hoo-ha about American Civil War games and about the Confederacy, but it was about the Confederacy. It's a Field of Shoes, about that they were a military school. And he had to, the general had to, who was played by Jason Isaacs, had to get these involved because they hadn't had enough troops. I said, no, we'll use them in reserve. And of course, they just
threw them in.
Yeah, used them. Yeah. And the guy was in charge of the kids, another kid, said, no, we've got to storm them, otherwise they're going to blow us to bits. And they just stormed it and took the place that was supposed to be thingy, and it was a very poignant film, and they have a thing there every year celebrating, or if that's the right word, commemorating everyone that fought in there. Yeah, field of shoes or something.
Yeah, he said Field of Empty Shoes.
Yeah, great film. Yeah, really sort of like in the old throat there, getting the lump in the throat. Really good film.
Sorry, Jesse, you were asking.
Sorry.
Channel.
I was asking, and then
sorry.
Yeah. So. What's coming up on the channel, fellas?
Nothing for me.
No.
Okay. Couple weeks. You're going to be. A couple weeks. You'll be back into it.
I will. I may change the channel over a little bit because, like I told you in the chat before, my son and I are working on that 55 Ford.
Oh, that's right.
So we're probably going to do some video on that and be posting that up in between games and things like that, which doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm going to do.
So. What about you, Ruff? Anything?
Well, I just got to get this game unboxed, and again, a detailed thing in case I can't do a playthrough. in the near future of the what they call it, the Culkin Goal from Princeps Games. Looks very interesting. The other one, Freezing Inferno, looks interesting. They've got lots. It's a game where they've got these things. They can't call them optional rules. They call them modules that you can clip on.
Add to it. Yeah.
You don't have to, but and the other one's got a bit more to it. So that and playing a bit more combat. So hopefully I can get that. I really want to get that on the channel. It's a really good game.
Oh,
combat.
it'll be 2 months before you get.
I know, but there you go. What else? You know,
I tell you,
it'll take me 6 months to edit it. You've played Combat, Nerdy?
I have not.
It's a good game. It's ambush with bells on.
All right, I'm going to be playing Cthulhu, the Horror in Dunwich tonight on the channel. Don't forget, next Thursday, we're going to have Herman on at 7 o'clock. We're going to do a live unboxing of the Plum Island Horror. If you want to see what's coming in your game, want to see what the components look like, 7 o'clock on Thursday. And then tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I get around to it, probably tomorrow, we're going to do our wrap-up video for September and talk about all the games we played, what we enjoyed, what we liked, what we didn't like, and rate all the games. And then, then we'll be back in the swing of it next week and trying to get some more stuff on the channel. So that's about it for today. We wish Tony a quick recovery. Hopefully he'll stop being a lazy butt and get his butt back on the channel.
We've got to sort out as well the hosting timetable as well. So we'll get together.
You're off in 2 weeks?
The 16th. Yes, 2 weeks. Yes.
So that means
That's
2 weeks.
And I'm gone.
Dangerous Dave won't be on.
No, we've lost him forever.
Yeah,
I'm going to be gone that week too, Ruff.
Oh.
Looks like Tony will be by himself.
I'm gone October 12th through the 17th. I told you guys about that.
Don't blame me. She's booked a holiday. Bless
Well,
her.
Tony, if you're out there, I'm probably available because I don't have a lot of stuff these guys do.
Tony might be looking up for some people.
So Tony might be.
It'll go ahead. It'll get the war room never dies. It'll go ahead regardless.
Yeah.
We'll have a show one way or the other. For sure.
One way or the other. But we've got to have a get together to sort that out and see who's hosting what and with whom.
I think it's going to be you next week and then Tony the following week.
Because Tony
we'll both be on the week after, so it's going to have to be you next week.
All right. Well, we'll try and have a little get together.
We'll post it on the Tack Up Facebook. Everyone, have a great week. Until then, my friends, thank you, Nerd, for coming out today.
Thanks, Nerd.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you, mate.
Good to be back with you guys.
Good to see you.
Good. And we'll see everyone next week.